Hey, it's Dave the Butterfly Guy here. So I thought I'd give you a look at my garden here at the end of July. After two super dry summers, 2024 has been really wet and a little milder. And so I wanted to show you how the plants have exploded. I also have my wood duck house in the background. This morning I found a blue heron standing on it. I thought I'd show you a quick shot of that. Take a look. Hey, I appreciate you watching my videos. I hope you share them with your friends, and I really value your comments. So thanks for hanging out on Dave the Butterfly Guy's YouTube channel. So not only did I have a blue heron on the wood duck house this morning, I also had one of the craziest things I've ever seen in my garden. I had an otter running around through the garden chasing a little bunny. So I got just a little video of that. Thought you'd find it interesting. So this part of my garden is where I have phlox plants. They're still not in bloom, although the rabbits have eaten off some of the tops of them. I have my marigolds, which I tried to put in as a fence, which isn't working to keep the rabbits out. They're in bloom. They look nice. My zinnias are starting to bloom at the end of July here. But this is the craziest thing in my part of the garden. This is dill. Look how tall it is. It's just grown crazy. And dill is a host plant for the black swallowtail butterflies. I've seen a few caterpillars on it, but not too many. But it is so tall. It's like 4 to 5 feet tall. All right, this part of my garden, I have the Whorled Milkweed, which I think is a really bougie milkweed for the monarchs. It'll keep growing taller and it'll bloom hopefully here in August. And then I've planted this row of annuals. They're called, I believe, Nasturtiums. I'm not sure of the pronunciation, but Nasturtiums. They come in these beautiful yellow flowers, orange flowers, light orange, and it's an annual that adds a little color to the garden. All right, this part of my garden, again, is where I love to have host plants for the black swallowtail. I've got parsley, a couple different varieties. It's the host plant for the black swallowtail. I've also got some rue, and some of this rue is really exploded. I do have my one pepper plant, which I thought I'd try to grow a pepper, so that's what is in this part of my garden. And then behind me is the sedums, and I try to protect the sedums from the rabbits with some fencing. It blooms a little later in the year, end of August into September, so I'm waiting for it to bloom, but the rabbits haven't got to it this year, so I'm very excited to see the sedums bloom. So look at my Heliopsis plant. I'm over 6 feet tall. It's as tall as I've ever seen it. It's got to be 4.5 feet tall, and it's in full bloom. I think it's part of the sunflower plant family, but it's really spectacular from all the rain we've had this year. All right, I've got this butterfly bush. I actually have a few of them across the back here. They grow pretty tall and they're in bloom right now, and it's one of the great butterfly attractors. So I love it when it's in bloom, the butterfly bush. All right, this is the area where my garden has just exploded with all the rain, especially the purple coneflowers. I've never had purple coneflowers grow this tall, so many blooms, and it's just created this really great spot for butterflies. I also have Liatris blooming right next to it. I've got some back here, some right here, and again, it's created this really lush part of the garden for me. So in this part of my garden, I've got some black-eyed Susans. They're in full bloom right now, and they'll still stay in bloom the next couple of months. So they're beautiful this time of year. I don't see a ton of butterflies around them, but what I'm really excited about is this Meadow Liatris. This is the second year I've had it. It's about ready to bloom, and once they bloom, they attract monarchs like there's no other. So I've got a handful of them. They're growing. They get tall. Again, they're over 4 feet tall, but they're ready to bloom. They're so close. So I'm so excited in year 2 to finally get blooms on my Meadow Liatris. All right, so here I have my one Joe-pye weed plant. I have had it protected from the rabbits. It's growing as well as it has in the last few years. It's about ready to bloom. Not in bloom yet, but it's just so close to blooming. So again, Joe-pye weed's a great pollinator that I think is a great thing to have in a butterfly garden. So mostly I have purple coneflowers, but I've gotten a couple hybrids. This one is this beautiful orangish red flower, and look how many blooms are on it. It's just amazing and fabulous right now. So that has attracted a lot of pollinators this summer. So we've had so much rain this summer and my garden's just flourished. Although I haven't seen tons of butterflies this summer, which has been disappointing, but it was fun to see the heron on the wood duck house this morning. It was fun to see an otter chasing a bunny around the garden this morning. So it's still been an eventful, fun summer in the butterfly garden. So that's all I have today. It's Dave the Butterfly Guy signing out, and have a great day.